Ladies and gentlemen of the future Fandation Nation, hello, welcome back to the channel. It's been a week, right?
It has been a week.
Hold on.
Right?
Am I peeking a Falcon action figure?
There is a Falcon. Yeah,
I didn't even notice that in the beginning. Oh my god! Well,
Yeah.
that's perfect. Hi, Gabe. How are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm alright, man. You know, work. We've been back at work. Just it's been hard, man. It's been Fernie and the baby. Let's go. um. So it's been interesting, man. You know, just going back at work and you see that grind again, kind of getting on to that. But you know,
Yep.
it's been a pretty interesting 24 hours and for nerdy content, hasn't it?
It definitely has. Yeah.
So this is the order we're gonna go in first. I didn't get any spoiler tags for Mortal Kombat. Whatever, we'll just talk about it. We're talking Mortal Kombat first. Then we're gonna talk Invincible, and then we're gonna end it off with Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's gonna be interesting because I think we both have thoughts about both. You know, about all projects going on. You know, and Cold P, my man, if you have any thoughts yourself, let us know down in the chat. We'd love to hear. But so first we're gonna start with Mortal Kombat. Actually, I think I have a picture that I used for the thumbnail. Let me see if I can bring it on into Streamlabs. But let's start with Mortal Kombat. Before we get into any spoilery things, let's give like an overarching view on how we thought about it. So, Gabe, do you want to start off with how you felt about Mortal Kombat?
I loved it. I was expecting a 1-for-1 for the video game, but it was pretty darn close. Obviously there's gripes, like there's going to be little gripes here and there, but they did the fatalities, they did everything that I wanted to see in a Mortal Kombat movie, they did it. So I love that movie. It's probably my favorite Mortal Kombat movie. The original will always be a classic. It'll always be you know, nostalgic to watch, and I love it. But
yeah,
this one is
definitely a little cheesy though,
made.
isn't it?
Yeah, this one has a little bit of cheese in it too. But this is what we need for a video game movie going forward. No Kevin Hart, no Dwayne The Rock Johnson, please.
Hey, what do you mean no Kevin Hart? What's wrong with Kevin Hart? No, I'm kidding.
Here's the thing.
First of all, bam.
First of all, bam! I got in there. I got a fatality.
What? Yeah. What if Kevin Hart was Jax?
Oh no! Just a little 5'3" Jax.
That would have been
metal arms. Sub-Zero was holding him like with a stiff arm, and he can't like punch him.
First of all, clank. So,
wow.
First of all, and then my arms are gone. And I was like, wow. Okay, so, I personally thought it was. I mean, I thought the plot itself wasn't like great, but I thought it was really fun. I definitely enjoyed myself watching it the whole time. I thought it was really just really fun thing to watch. The fucking fatalities were awesome. They definitely went for it. People, characters died. It was like the Suicide Squad. It was out here. Like people are dying left and right, and it was sick. It was definitely a little more one-sided on the killing. I kind of honestly, as much as it would have hurt me, I think I would have preferred a little more death on both sides. Just because that is kind of more Mortal Kombat, Because realistically, now let's get more into spoiler territory. If you haven't seen Mortal Kombat, we're gonna now be busting into spoiler territory for Mortal Kombat. If you want to hear our chances hear how we feel about Invincible or Falcon Winter Soldier, come on later. We'll be talking about that. So, let's just start off with okay. What do you want to start off with talking about? Do you want to start off with the plot, certain characters, fatalities, death?
Let's start with the characters.
Okay, so how about we start with the new original character that was made for this movie? I don't remember his name. I'm gonna be honest.
Cole Young.
Cole Young. He is like it's come to learn later in the movie he is like a descendant of Scorpion.
Right.
And I thought it was pretty interesting.
I liked it. I understand that people are hating on him without trying to pay attention to his story or anything, because they feel that he took Johnny Cage's spot, but he didn't.
He really didn't, especially with what we see at the
Johnny Cage is coming.
Yeah,
just, people need to be patient.
It was definitely heavily implied. As soon as he said, "Hey, where you going, kid?" "I'm going to Hollywood." "Hollywood? What's in Hollywood?" "Now what?"
Who?
Who? I was like, oh man, there it
There
is.
are people. There are people that just think that he's gonna turn into Johnny Cage. That Johnny Cage isn't gonna be in the. I'm like, he
No,
clearly says he's
obviously,
going to go get Johnny
there's a
Cage. Like,
poster that says Johnny
right.
Cage.
People are
Like, it was
people mad.
literally a poster. Like it's like I don't know how more like honest you could be, but um, I liked him. I didn't really care for his family storyline.
I didn't like his ability.
Yeah, just
It
making
was,
armor.
it was just kind of. They could have done something more with. If he's gonna be a descendant of Scorpion, they could have done, I think, something a little bit
Because he
more.
kind of felt like
revolved
Baraka a
around
little bit,
Scorpion.
you know, with like the spikes or like with the knives
Yeah,
on the arms.
he can manifest like batons with blades on them or
Is,
whatever.
is it specifically like okay? We need to know the rules here. Is it specifically knives, batons, or can he summon other stuff? Is he like Green Lantern with with like ancient armor? Because
No,
didn't later he summon one of those throwing things as well?
no, he just had it
He just had
because
it.
Raiden gives it to him.
Oh yes, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So yeah, like with Mortal Kombat, most of the fighters tend to have like a weapon that they like specialize in. So I think his is like the baton with the blades on it, and like
Actually, I forgot. Like what about the whole opening sequence?
the origin story.
We didn't even talk about the opening sequence, the badass
Yeah, so-
origin story.
So the origin story has always been talked about, and like it's in the lore of Mortal Kombat,
Yeah,
but they've never actually, as far as I haven't seen the Scorpion like animated movie yet, but from what I've known, they haven't really ever had a scene like that that explains or that shows what Sub-Zero's clan did to Scorpion's clan.
yeah. I know it's always been like
And that
heavily
was
implied,
crazy.
right?
It's been talked about, and it's been like they, in the end credit scene where it, like, you do the arcade mode with one of the characters, it'll explain like Scorpion's story, where like, oh, it was his clan was killed by the Lin Kuei and his family and stuff, but they never show it. They never show like and that was the origin story shown in like perfect detail. I loved it.
Yeah, it was definitely very emotional too. Like I wasn't expecting oh god, I hope that ding didn't pop up on the stream. I got a text message and I got
I didn't hear it.
ding. Maybe you will in a second. But it was definitely really emotional, like what happened with his family and stuff like that, and like how they actually did it, and seeing it's interesting about how like the whole powers thing, because it seemed like Sub-Zero and his clan had the power, just naturally have the powers. Like, so did Scorpion unlock his powers once he died or something like that? Like, like I was curious, like why didn't Scorpion have his powers?
So yeah, well, Scorpion is a human. Originally, he's just a human ninja / samurai, and Sub-Zero, his clan, they're chiromancers. So like, they already had that power. Like it's not anything like with a mark or anything. They all have the mark, which allows them to access their arcana. So like, how they kind of explain that like there's not a lot of Earth champions left.
Yeah, because a lot of them are dying.
Because they've all been getting killed.
Yeah.
Well, basically, Sub-Zero just has like a bunch of these people from like his like clan or whatever that all have.
Well, yeah, because isn't the second Sub-Zero his brother?
Right. So they may change that. It may just be that Sub-Zero is a descendant of Bihan.
Oh, maybe,
or whatever.
Yeah, they might.
Because he lived like a long time. So
yeah.
That's also, and with Scorpion, he gets his powers after he dies, because he becomes like a demon for the underworld or whatever.
Yeah, in the Nether Realm, right? Or whatever.
Yeah, in the Nether Realm. So he's basically just a demon at this point now. He's not even really.
Yeah, man.
He's like a demon infused with his spirit.
The final
That's why
fight,
he has like the fire and like the stuff.
The final fight, which we'll probably get more into detail later, where he like and the skull
Top
thing.
notch.
Oh, fucking sick, dude! Oh my god. Okay, but before let's start deep diving into the characters again. Dope fight. So we already got into the descendant of Scorpion. So next person we meet is Jax. Jax. he ran into him at the fighting pit, kind of like teased it a little bit, like, oh yeah, we're looking for a person. Hey, you look like you could fight, like stuff like that, like teasing it a little bit. He was super cool. He was super charming. He was so dope, dude. And then we get that crazy sequence with Sub-Zero like coming in and attacking, and like it was like the whole chase scene, like that was dope, dude. Was just Sub-Zero like walking down the alley like the fucking Joker, like, and then he was just like pulling up ice out of the floor, just like dropping it,
shooting it. Oh my gosh, I loved how they made Sub-Zero super menacing and like this really hard ass villain,
dude. And I love. I personally, when I play Mortal Kombat, I like to play Sub-Zero because of his cool like ice powers. Like, dude, so many things that were like little side abilities that were in the game, they definitely did in this fucking movie.
Oh yeah,
especially with Sub-Zero, like the ice walls, like the little like
from like the X-rays and stuff.
Yeah, man. Oh, it was so good. So eventually, dude, what about that crazy alley scene where Sub-Zero's just waiting at the end of the alley? And then Jax is like there with the gun, and then smoke comes up, and then all the smoke goes into the room, and then dude, it was a horror film, like that.
Oh yeah,
that was chilling, dude, and no pun was intended right there, dude. Like, it was fucking nuts. Like he just like all you saw was his silhouette in this cloud of cold, and then the silhouette goes into like the room, and then the cloud follows with him, and oh my god, absolutely nuts. Personally, I wouldn't have gone in. I would have left.
No, I'd have been like,
all right, cool.
I'm gonna get back in the car.
Yeah, all right, cool. He's leaving.
I'm gonna head out.
All right, cool. He left. I'm gonna go that way. But we did get that really cool scene where they fought, and it wasn't really much of a fight. I loved where he was like, haha, served for 7 years, asshole, and he's like holding his own for like 5 seconds, and then just fucking. Blah,
I love that. Yeah,
that was nuts. I thought he was dead. I mean, I know like if I didn't know what I knew about Mortal Kombat,
trailer?
I mean, just as Mortal Kombat in general, like that he gets metal arms and stuff. I would have thought he died. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he messed him up
because homie lost his fucking arms. He flipped off the thing, smacked his head onto cement on his way down, and then kept falling, and then smacked. I was like, bro.
He looked dead as dead.
He looked dead as hell. So, that was nuts. Afterwards, we meet Sonya Blade, another iconic Mortal Kombat character, and she had just Kano locked up.
Yep.
Which, honestly, Kano is the best character in that
Kano is by far one of the best characters.
Is the best movie. Fucking character,
and he personifies Kano so well.
Yeah, 100%.
As that Australian like asshole.
Dude, he was just like awesome. I'm so. I mean, we know what happens to him later in the movie. Homie gets fatality'd, but oh man, I would have loved to see him in the second one. I mean, maybe. As what the
he's gonna come back.
Yeah, because what's the homie the main boss of the bad side?
It's gonna be Shao Kahn, I think, in the next one.
Well, who is in this one? Who is?
Oh, Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung can just revive him. Yeah.
Yeah. He said death is only the first means of like this realm or whatever. So like, and then he made a lot of the bodies disappear in the black smoke, which made me think of Noob, by the way.
They definitely
smoke as well
with Sub-Zero.
So I'm excited, dude. And then Kano is so good the whole time, and then the whole chemistry with Kano and Sonya Blade. How do you feel about Sonya?
They hate each other. I like Sonya. I think she did a really good job of being true to the character. The rivalry between her and Kano was perfect, just like the video games.
Yeah.
But when they beat that like reptile thing.
Yeah, that I forgot he was in the movie. If I'm being honest.
I don't think it was reptile per se. I think it was someone from his species, just like a part of his species. So I hope they kind of like that's just like a tease that his species is around, and that they'll do the ninja one.
Yeah, because that was very quick. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, okay, he's gone, and then it was a dope scene with Kano, and he was like, ah, what a fucking,
Kano wins.
what a
It's so
fucking
good.
beauty. like that was great. It was awesome. But who do we meet after that? God, thanks for reminding me about Reptile. I totally forgot about
Mhm.
that, dude. After
Um,
after that, uh,
After that, we meet
low con or fire dude.
Liu Kang.
Liu Kang.
Mhm.
Yes, we meet him. I thought he was great.
Yeah,
He was cool.
he is really
Very-
he did a really good job playing Liu Kang.
Uh-huh,
Liu Kang
dude.
has always been just kind of like a Bruce Lee, you know, like
fucking-
stand-in.
The second he did the iconic bicycle kick, I
good.
I was like, oh, I was like, oh my
Even
god.
the fatality. Okay, so he does do the fatality where he slams
Oh,
the ground, the drag
Against
the fire dragon
Cable,
comes up.
yeah.
Yeah,
We'll talk
oh
about
my-
Cable in a second, because honestly, Cable. Okay, let's talk about Cable right now, because homie. So
He looks so
he
good.
looks great, dude.
Straight from the video
Dude,
game.
Cable was absolutely one of my favorite characters. I was that douchebag that just did the left-right B, where it was just like
Little
the
spin.
little, yeah. Oh, I was that douchebag. I was that guy. I got someone locked in that combo, and I never let him out. He was my favorite character, and he was so cool, dude. The effect, the speed effect, the purple. The chemistry he had with Kano, how he was able to just to like make him switch sides because he knew about the money. I liked how they had a little backstory going on there. He looked so good.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunate he dies, but you know, as they say, death is just the beginning.
I'm sure he'll come back.
Hopefully he comes back because he was so good.
He was awesome. His voice sounded familiar. I couldn't pinpoint it though.
Yeah, I have no idea who his voice actor was.
Maybe I'll try to
Yeah,
Google it real
look into that. After that, we arrive at the temple. We meet Raiden, which how do you feel about Raiden?
I like that he is of Asian descent, unlike the first MK where he's just some white dude who goes.
Dude,
That was so. I'm so glad that he was actually Raiden.
I later found out that white dude plays he plays Gaps. Oh fuck. Gapsy. He plays like the person in the chair in the Black Lightning show.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
wow.
the same actor, or he definitely was in the Mortal Kombat movie. But Raiden was cool. I liked how his eyes are always glowing and stuff. You know what I mean? Like every time you saw him, the eyes were just fucking. Really cool. I kind of like how he respected the rules, how he couldn't intervene. You know what I'm talking about? Like he was like his homie's OP. You know what I'm talking about? He was literally just like zapping motherfuckers left and right and like teleporting and like putting up force fields and stuff. Homie was OP. He was awesome.
Yeah. Raiden is OP as hell.
Speaking of awesome characters, homie with the hat.
Kung Lao.
Kung Lao was awesome.
I think that's the first time we've seen Kung Lao in a live action movie because I don't think he appeared in any of the other two, and they got his powers from the games from
100%. Yeah.
When he hops up like floaty and like from the teleport portal, whatever. Oh,
dude, the fatality he did.
Fatality
Oh my
was
god!
from the
Oh
game.
my gosh, that was. He even said it, right? Did he say it?
Yeah.
Flawless victory. Oh my god, that was so good.
He did
It was cheesy, but I was like, yes. I was like, yes. Because, dude, after a kill like that, man, how can you not just go like, yeah? Dude, it was
so
nuts. Like, and then I love how homie hyped for that chick up so much. You know?
Oh yeah.
My goddess.
I don't think she's a. I think she's.
I've never heard of that chick before in my life. I've never seen that chick before. He was like,
she's been in. Oh, she has been in the games.
He was like, my beautiful one, and then she was like, I'm gonna fuck shit up later, and then she got destroyed, dude. It was like
her first appearance was in Deadly Alliance, which is Yeah, her first game was Deadly Alliance.
I've
She was in
never played it.
the 3D games where they like had like the 3D like fight instead of how like now they went back to like the 2D fighting where
Yeah,
it's just
I never
back and
even know
forth.
they had 3D style games.
They did had 3D style games. They weren't the most popular.
Oh, that's probably
They
why.
they they lasted like 3 or 4 games and then they kind of just got dumpstered on. So they went back to the 2D version.
Well, she also got dumpstered on, dude. She got
She got
split
she
in
got dumpstered on.
half, dude. It was nuts. I can't believe that. He was such a cool character. Honestly, next version of Captain America after Sam Wilson,
Kung Lao.
better be Kung Lao.
I'm for it.
He's the ultimate Captain America, dude. He was using it as a shield. He was like bouncing it off and shit. Oh, it was so good. Like Sam Wilson needs to take lessons from Kung
He
Lao.
needs to take some lessons from Kung Lao.
That shit was
Unlock his
so.
Arcana.
Yeah, Sam Wilson needs to watch Mortal Kombat, dude, because that shit was nuts. He was honestly probably one of my favorite characters, if I'm being honest.
Oh yeah.
Because like even like the chemistry he had with like Kano, where he was like calling him like stupid and childish, but he was like, he's not calling you stupid, he's trying to help you. But he was like also just calling him like stupid essentially, and then
Yeah.
later he is one of the only characters on the good side that does die and gets his soul taken,
Mhm.
which is unfortunate. He was really cool. But I mean, it does make sense. As I said earlier, there needs to be consequences on both sides, and I would have preferred a little more consequences on both sides. Like I don't know who would have died, and realistically who could have died to make sense. But
Yeah. I don't know who they could have. Because it definitely feels like they're trying to save some of these characters for number 2, but
oh, dude, yeah, no,
um,
so dude, I can't wait for Johnny Cage to flirt with Sonya all the time.
oh yeah,
Oh, are we gonna get the iconic nut punch?
I hope so. We better.
Dude, we better get the iconic nut punch. Cause that shit was fucking. Every time I was, every time I was Johnny Cage, I was always just going to the splits and wah! Every time.
Do you have a fan casting for Johnny Cage on who you want it to be?
Do you?
I kind of want to see it because a lot of people have been pitching it. They want the WWE guy, the Miz, to play him.
Oh, that would be good. Isn't he? Like,
And he's been like trying to get it. He's been pitching. He's like, come on, I want to play Johnny Cage, and he looks the part. I mean, the Hollywood sunglass douchebag. So I think it'd be cool if he got it.
a couple people come to mind, like the guy who played Billy in Stranger Things.
Oh, okay. Doc Ray.
Yeah, he comes to mind a little bit. Like if they want to go for like a younger like douchebag.
Mhm.
I don't know actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't think of too many,
Oh
but
man, anyone in the chat? Anyone have any fan casting for Johnny Cage?
Johnny Cage.
I'm picturing faces right now that I just can't.
Let's see, Johnny Cage.
You're just gonna look up fan cast on Google.
Fan cast. Let's see. Yeah. See if there's anyone I recognize. Oh, someone put Chris Pratt. That doesn't look like.
No, not Chris. I mean, maybe if Chris Pratt if you lose a bunch of weight again and gets to like peak physical form and shaves his face and gets a shirt and hairstyle. Nah, no.
Jensen Ackles, no. Ryan Reynolds isn't buff enough.
Not buff enough. But he could definitely play the character probably. He could definitely nail the character.
He has
Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell.
I mean, unless man, Johnny Cage casting. Liam Neeson as Johnny Cage. Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen
as Johnny Cage. I'd watch it.
It'd be interesting. Oh man, some people have Stephen Amell. Does Stephen Amell pull off the douchebag though? He seems too good.
Like too humble.
Too humble, yeah. I don't know.
No, I mean, did you watch him in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too? Where he was He played
Casey Jones.
Casey Jones. He was kind of a douchebag in that, but not entirely. He was more like a nice Casey Jones. Yeah, no, I don't think Stephen Amell. Maybe his cousin Robbie Amell.
Maybe.
Actually,
So I want this now after seeing it. This looks like it's Boss Logic.
Yeah, did Boss Logic Photoshop it? That's how you know it's official. We're all gonna fall in love with it.
Keanu Reeves is Kenshi.
I'm not familiar with the character. Oh shit!
He's the blind swordsman.
That's cool, but shit.
Yeah, that's that. I want that.
Where is from Mortal Kombat. Yeah. I was trying to pinpoint like what the character was. It, dude. That'd actually be really sick, man. Keanu in Mortal Kombat film.
Oh yeah,
I just
really saw one too. John Cena as Stryker, like the cop guy.
Oh
that definitely fits.
100%. That'd be great. Wow. Okay, wait.
My gosh, I need these castings now.
So let's keep going down. Let's keep going down the list. Oh, okay. Kevin brought it up.
Here, let's go.
Kevin brought it up. They did the song. They
did it more subtly than they did the. In the original movie, it was full on 90s techno. Yeah, I like how they made it more like subtle.
Yeah,
like, it was there,
the
but
credits,
it wasn't.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I finished watching the movie, and I started watching the credits. I started watching it just in case there was like after credit scene, and then I started hearing the beat. I was like, "This is a pretty good beat." And then I started thinking about it. I was like, "No, they did it right." I was like, "There's no way they fucking." And then it goes do. Mortal Kombat. I was like, no way. I was like, oh man.
They did it a couple times throughout the movie too, where you could hear like certain parts of the song, but they made it blend in with a song that was already playing. I definitely would have loved if like when they were talking about the Hollywood stuff, like you hear like the synth or whatever, bum 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 bum, and then they show the Johnny Cage, and then it goes Mortal Kombat. That would have been insane if that's how it ended,
dude. That reminds me of when I was in the theaters, and I was watching the Power Rangers live action movie, which I am a big fan. A lot of people didn't like it. I'm a big fan of it. The fucking moment where they're all on the Megazords, and then it's the iconic "Go Power Rangers." I was like, no way! I was freaking out in the theaters, dude. I was like, yo! Like, it blew my mind. So like, oh yeah, I feel that like with the Mortal Kombat thing right there, like 100%, it would have been like so good. But okay, so who's the next character they introduced after that? So there was Sonya. She was cool. Homeboy with the hat, Kung Lao,
Melina, which is one of the ones I have a gripe with.
She's the teeth chick, right?
Yeah. I think the effect for the teeth was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was good enough. The costume design is what bothers me. I wanted the pink. I wanted.
Oh, she's the pink. Yeah, and that's why she wore the face mask, right, to cover her teeth and everything.
I would have liked the face mask if they did the reveal later.
I forgot they're all different colors, because there was the tease to the other one, right? The blue, her fan was in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Like
so she hasn't shown, which is I know other people are complaining. Oh, where's Katara? Where's Jade? Or Katana? Where's Jade? It's like, what? Guys, yeah. Next movie.
Did you know? Okay, I mean, apparently the actor who plays Scorpion has signed on to 4 sequels. Right now.
I love that.
He's signed on to 4 sequels.
He was a phenomenal Scorpion, but I also love the distinction. I didn't know that. I thought Sub-Zero was Japanese too. I just assumed.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
And he's actually like a Chinese clan.
I was very confused when like I was seeing like the separation of like Chinese and Japanese subtitles. I was like, why is this going on? And then later on, I was like, oh shit. When
they're like rivaling nation clans.
When Scorpion was like, I don't know what you're saying, but I was like, oh damn, he's literally. When
Scorpion's like, I don't know what you're saying, but I will kill you or some shit.
I was like, damn, they're literally in different languages. That's so nuts. Yeah, no, they okay. Well, let's talk about Scorpion a little bit, and let's talk about the Scorpion and Sub Zero fight because we're just talking about Scorpion and Sub Zero so much. That fight was fucking dope, dude.
It was.
Really
I did
dope
like
sequence.
too that you could definitely see the blue in that fight scene too. Like his armor, you could definitely tell it was like a blue metallic color.
Yeah.
So I was happy to see that.
Both character designs for Scorpion and Sub Zero were like really good.
Really good.
They were like very well. I mean, I didn't really care much about his descendant or anything, but like, yeah, they teamed up at the end to like actually end the deal and everything. But that small segment where it was just fucking Scorpion and Sub Zero was so dope. So many iconic things from the video games just being tossed in right there. We got the iconic "Get over here." We had fucking Scorpion make an ice wall and throw him in it. We had Sub-Zero. We had Sub-Zero make a dagger out of his own blood. Like, oh my! One of his fatalities, or it's a twist on his fatality, right? Because in one of his fatalities, oh, you good? We good?
Yeah, we're back. We're back.
We're back. So it's like, it was the fatality that he ended up doing. It was kind of like a twist on one of his fatalities, if I remember correctly, because in the games he ripped off his whole face and it was a skull to do the fire breath, right? Where in this one it was more just like he took off the face mask and it was like a skull bottom causing the fire. But really dope, dude. I kind of want to get myself a Sub-Zero face mask cover. They sell them. They sell them on Amazon.
Yeah, they have all the ninjas. You can
buy the silicone, like just cover. Just wear a black mask, bro, and just put that on.
Put it on.
Disney approved or what?
Disney approved. I don't care. I'm gonna walk in with it.
Dude, I really want the Noob Sailor one. That one's so dope. It's like all black and it's like fucking Oh man, he's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, no, I definitely like that they adjusted it to make it look good, because like obviously if he just like did this and like his whole entire like hood came off with like it's very hard, I think, to do that with special effects to make it look good in a movie.
Yeah.
So the fact that he just takes off the mask and as soon as he starts breathing fire, you could see like the skull like showing
start to like it's like start to take over a little bit. It was really cool.
Yeah,
like
cool.
the effects were pretty top notch in this film. Like if I'm being honest, like they definitely did really like the fire dragon that happened like earlier against Cable was fucking sick. All the lightning effects are kind of like basic a little bit on the turn of like editing. It was done very well, you know, a lot of layers. Yeah. It was fucking nuts. How it interacted with the people were really good. Kano's lasers was fucking dope. Definitely a lot of like were really cool. All the fire effects. Even Sonya got her abilities.
Sonya did her abilities.
Yo, how is Mortal Kombat doing robot arms better than Joss Whedon in the Justice League?
I don't understand.
Because that scene where Jax basically busted a cyborg and upgraded in real time was fucking sick, dude.
That was dope. One of my favorite Sub-Zero scenes though has got to be when he's making like the sword.
Mm-hmm.
It's straight up one of his intros from one of the more recent games where he just comes in, he does a line and he makes the ice sword.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. Oh.
Dude, or we want to talk about dope ass shit in the opening intro. Let's go back to that. How about that sequence where Scorpion was just literally using the whip?
Using it as like a whip.
My mouth dropped to the floor, dude. Homie killed like 7 people with that freaking whip. It was nuts. Like,
and he was doing to get over here. Like he was like doing
one person dead ass was trying to run away, and he was just like, it was crazy. So we started to see more iconic characters, like the fucking 4-armed motherfucker. What's that character's name?
Goro.
Goro was pretty sick.
He was. I wish he had killed someone though before fighting. I think he got done a little dirty, but he looked phenomenal.
Looked so great. As I said, I wasn't a big fan of like the human family aspect of the thing. Like I understand why it was there. It's like the emotional arc for that character and stuff like that.
Right.
But I wasn't like a big like it didn't drive me. Like I didn't really care like for his family much. Like when the consequence, like when it cut to them and they were all like, "We got to get out of here before someone else shows up." I was like, "Oh, this is kind of lame." And then Sub-Zero showed up, and I was like, "Oh, well, that's kind of." I was like, "Okay, well, this is gonna lead to that," you know. And then when I saw them frozen, I was like, eh. I was like, "Are they dead?" Like I was like, I don't know if
They
they're
don't really
dead
care.
yet. I was like, because Sub-Zero froze Scorpion's like wife and kid, and they died.
They were dead.
Yeah, like they were dead. So it's like I was like, oh, how did they not die? I was like, oh, okay, because if they would
Yeah.
have died, that would have been a little more nuts. But like, I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Uh, but yeah, no, that fight was sick. Like, because it's used to discover his powers, which as I kind of agree with you, I wasn't a big fan of his power. I would have liked if it was a little more closer to
Relevant to
Scorpion.
Scorpion.
Yeah. Other than just that. But it was cool. It kind of gave me a little bit Black Panther vibes because like when he got hit, it seemed like it
They were, like,
absorbed the
absorbed.
kinetic energy
Yeah.
or whatever. Kind of gave me a little black. It kind of seemed like it was copying a little bit of Black Panther, but I'm not gonna hold it onto them that much. But yeah, dude, I love how it was. They were basically like, all right, here's what's going down. They just did us dirty, and that ain't cool. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna separate them. We're gonna basically do Mortal Kombat right here without going into the tournament, which
And they did iconic stages.
yeah,
too.
I'm gonna say the Jax fight. I remember
was
that
insane.
map, dude. I remember
Yeah.
that map. Like, dude, that fight was so sick. Like, okay, so they're basically like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. Jax, you're gonna fight that general dude. Which that fight was fucking sick. Just Jax let loose, and was that a Jax fatality from the game? I'm not sure.
Yes.
Yeah?
I mean, he's had multiple, but that is one of his fatalities where he just
Squishes the
Claps.
person. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
nuts, man. I was like, wow, man. That was like literally mind blowing. Like, it was fucking insane. Who was next after that? Sonya had to fight Kano.
Sonya had to fight Kano, and so this is the part where I'm curious because the marking that she gets would it signify that he died,
Yes.
but all he
Uh-oh.
so like he had like one of the
Hold
weaker
on,
deaths
hold
in my
on.
opinion.
Reset 5 seconds. We had another skip.
Oh, I was just saying how like the mark basically kind of signifies that she did kill Kano.
Yeah.
But like all he got was the gnome hat into the eye. So like I think it's one of the weaker deaths. If he died, like
I
don't know.
agree. It's definitely
But-
implied I'm pretty sure he's dead because the mark thing, the whole transfer of the mark. But
I want to see him come back though with like the metal faceplate.
well, it's probably what's gonna happen now.
Yeah.
Like now that he got taken back, he's probably gonna get resurrected and then get upgraded and then have a bigger fucking. And then that's probably where the hatred comes, like the bigger hatred. 'Cause remember, like their hatred is really bigger in the games. Like it's not just like in this one it just kind of said more like petty, like like they were just like villains of like in general. But in the games it's a lot bigger, like their hatred. So like maybe this is kind of like the teeing in the beginning of that. So it'd be really cool. I think Kano, obviously he's like the best character in this movie, and obviously I think Johnny Cage is gonna be a really good character in the next movie.
Oh yeah, I think he's gonna be one of the focal points for sure.
Yeah, but so like I do think Kano will come back, and I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Who else? Cable fought.
Fought Liu Kang, and we saw the Liu Kang fatality with the fire dragon.
The fire dragon, and then Melina was killed by
was Sonya Blade's little blaster effect.
Yeah, that was cool. How she just came out of nowhere and just like destroyed the crap out of her. Well, technically, if Kano was a weak death, that technically was a full death. You know what I'm talking about? Like she destroyed like the whole middle part.
She did murder.
And then we already talked about the Sub-Zero and Scorpion fight and everything, which was pretty cool. We technically saw Sub-Zero die, but then his body got absorbed or whatever, which was a very. So every time I saw that black smoke, I thought of either Smoke or Noob, right? I was like, oh, bro, is one of them coming? Like I was like, what's going on here? Like this effect keeps happening, and it's very because correct me if I'm wrong. Smoke is he could appear in and out with smoke, right? That's like his effect, and then
Smoke.
Noob had like that shadow companion that would like come up.
Yeah, like an inkling
Yeah,
companion
yeah.
thing. Yeah. So Smoke, he's also part of the Lin Kuei. So he was also one of the clan members of that Sub-Zero group.
Hmm.
So I'm hoping we see him, and Smoke is technically still alive. To whereas Noob Saibot's obviously like a brought back to life version of Sub-Zero. Um,
Oh, bro.
so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to see Rain. I want to see Ermac. I want to see Smoke. I want to see New Sub-Zero. I want to see all the ninjas.
Oh, we'll talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier in a little bit, Ben. But I'm
I think we can do that
you.
one next.
Yeah, we'll hit that one next. We'll do Invincible last. Interesting. Yeah, I thought you'd go the other way. But okay, so that's basically like the whole thing of the Mortal Kombat. We had that interesting tease that they're gonna come back with an army. They're gonna come back with like. So do you think the next movie will be the actual? I don't think the next movie is gonna be the actual tournament.
I think the next movie will have the base of the plot be the tournament, but obviously the Outworld never plays by the rules anyway.
Yeah.
So like, I think the next movie they're gonna have recruited more people like Johnny Cage. They mentioned Bo Raicho, so maybe Bo Raicho's still alive. They'll get Bo Raicho to come back.
What about
maybe
Nightwolf? You see that
Nightwolf. Hopefully, Nightwolf's younger incarnation comes back.
because they had that article of him.
Striker's still a human that can from Earthrealm that can show up. There's a lot of Earthrealm people that can still show up.
Yeah.
Which is so cool. This is why I like people that are like ragging on this movie for not having everything in the first movie need to chill, because like they're trying to make this like a Mortal Kombat almost in itself is like could be a cinematic universe just because of how many characters there are.
Oh yeah, dude.
And you don't want to rush all those characters into the first movie and then not do them all justice. What I loved about this movie is that they were able to, for the most part, do these characters justice by having a lot of their moveset in it. They had their abilities on full display, and like it was cool. I mean, yeah, you can gripe about some, like Melina. I wanted her color. I wanted the pink to really be a part of the costume, and it wasn't, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
At least her skill set and her ability was on display. So yeah, I don't mind if they do little by little. You know, they have a set character for the next movie, and that's who they do, so they can focus on all their abilities and stuff.
Yeah,
and showcase it.
100%. I hope there's definitely a nice fresh roster for both ends. You know what I'm talking about? Like as much as I would love to see Kano and all of them come back, I also do want to see. I want to see Jade. I want to see Katana, or I want to see like all of them.
Right.
And I want to see more on the good side as well. You know what I'm talking about? And then, but also, if they're gonna do more characters, I want to see more even deaths on both sides. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
Because as I said, the deaths were very heavily one-sided in this film, and I personally would have preferred if it was maybe it could be more on the bad side, but just a little more even on the good side too. Because it's kind of hard to kill good characters on the good side because you're pushing your plot forward. But
right. I do think because it was like the core group, right, of Earthrealm heroes. These are going to be like the main ones, right? And if one of them dies, it's going to be pretty impactful, I think, moving forward. So I think what's going to happen, we're going to get like a Suicide Squad / Deadpool 2 kind of thing. Remember where they assemble like all these cool characters that we all know, and they're going to start killing them. They're going to give the bad guys some
hell yeah.
kill.
Actually, I would love that.
Like Stryker, he's a cool character, but he's if he shows up, he's dead. A bunch of all these other characters, they're gonna die if they show up.
I mean, I know Sonya's pretty iconic, but I can see her dying.
Mm-hmm.
I can see her dying. I can see Jax dying too. I don't want to see Liu Kang die.
So Liu Kang has been the one that predominantly has died.
Oh fuck.
in like the games because he
No.
comes back. He has the zombie form where he comes back and
Oh
he has
yeah,
like
I do remember
has
that.
like the hooks and stuff, and he kind of like does that.
Oh
And Kung Lao
no.
has died, so they may end up killing Liu Kang too. And they do like the Revenant versions of those characters where they come back and they're like evil and dead or whatever.
Who are those two robot dudes?
Cyrax and Sector.
Yeah, those guys
They're
are
also part of the Lin
cool.
Kuei.
What? Why
So
is everyone part
yeah,
of the Liu Kuei? Is it popping in the Liu
they're all
Kuei,
homies
dude?
of Sub Zero.
It's
So
popping out there.
yeah, so we'll see. I think because obviously the new Sub Zero is probably going to be siding with Earthrealm
Yeah.
and whatnot. That's been his character arc. Usually, is the new Sub Zero always sides with Earthrealm, and then Cyrax and Sector do it, or they try to side with Earthrealm when it's already too late, like, and then they die. Like,
So then I wonder who new Sub-Zero is gonna be, and if he will be helping Earthrealm in the next movie. You know what I'm talking about? Because cause they probably have some major trust issues if a new Sub-Zero came out of nowhere and they were like, "Hey, I'm trying to help.
always
Hey, I'm trying to help." You're like, "Hey, dog, hey, you get away."
It's gonna be interesting because, like, obviously, Scorpion knows that Cole Young is a descendant of his, but he kind of didn't really seem to be like.
Yeah,
he just kind of said, "Take care of my bloodline," and that was it.
Yeah, he wasn't shocked that someone survived. You know, like
yeah,
like yeah, he heard the baby cry, but he also like didn't know after he died. He had no idea if the baby survived.
I think we're gonna get a cool fight scene, a partial fight scene, of like, so the new Sub-Zero will be on Earthrealm's side, and that's gonna summon Scorpion, and I think Cole Young and Scorpion will have to like fight for a little bit. To be like, no, he's on our side. He's helping us defeat the Outworld. Yeah.
And he was like, all Sub-Zeros are bad Sub-Zero, and then like they fight, and then you're like, no, and then he'll summon his little like.
Yeah, I think we'll get like a defense scene.
Yo, low key, if he upgrades his power, like, you know, he figured out he could do more shit and gets a full suit, that would be dope.
Oh yeah,
I think I just didn't like that it was just a chest piece,
just a torso.
It was kind of weird. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but I would have loved a full suit. He kind of would have looked like Aquaman a little bit with the design they were going with, but
yeah,
it would have been sick. And then, like, you know, his own little like fucking face thing. Oh man, hey, who made this movie? Warner Brothers, or DC? Warner Brothers. Hey, Warner Brothers. He's an original character. Do what you want. Make him crazy. It don't matter. You have no source material. He's your own guy. Like, make him crazy.
Yeah.
Hashtag make him crazy.
They could have done a lot more cool stuff with Cole Young. I think like they could have given him some really cool powers. It would have been cool if they did something like with like I guess like the armor you could say is like, oh, it's supposed to be like, you know, like Scorpion armor or whatever. Like, but it would have been cool if he had like a version of Scorpion's like throwable spear where it's like a chain type of thing where it just comes out of like his arm or whatever, and he can like whip it around or something.
Or like maybe like his chest piece or whatever, like it unthreads, and he could use the thread and, like, you know, like, or some shit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it would be cool. But hey, man, let's hope we see more Jeff Johns incoming to write the sequel. Oh no, hey, you keep Jeff Johns and Greg Berlanti away. Jeff Johns and Greg Berlanti, get them away from Mortal Kombat. Okay, so I think we're gonna wrap up our Mortal Kombat talk with that. I think overall, final thing. Well, how did you feel about it?
Personally, for me, 9 out of 10. I think I'm also really hyped right now at the moment because I love Mortal Kombat. Yeah. It's like my favorite fighting game franchise of all time.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna rewatch this movie. Like I'm
gonna watch this movie.
If it's a movie that I'll rewatch, it's usually like a good sign. Like for me, the movie, it wasn't like, you know, the plot wasn't like crazy solid. It definitely there was moments where like I was, you know, I was like an hour and 30 minutes in, and I was like, oh shit, we have 20 minutes left. I was like, okay, like, can you, like, you know, like it felt like the story wasn't finished, and obviously it's intentional because there's gonna be like 4 more sequels, right? Like,
Yeah.
but like I think as a viewer, it was kind of a little off-putting, when you realize you're an hour and 30 minutes in, and it feels like the plot isn't going anywhere, or isn't going anywhere yet. Like you're just like, oh shit, wait, well there's so much to do, and it's only like 20 minutes. Like the movie, in that last 20 minutes, because they did the split up thing, they definitely handled it very well, and yeah, I'm excited to see. It was definitely fun. The fatalities and the fights were crazy.
Fatalities, fights were all
definitely
perfect.
nuts, and I'm definitely gonna check. I'm gonna rewatch it. I want to see. So how about I bought? Side note: I bought Mortal Kombat 11. It was on sale the other day, and I downloaded and everything. I'm like, fuck yeah, Mortal Kombat 11 about to play. I suck at Mortal Kombat games, but I'm really good. I love the story modes, because the story modes are always like dope as shit. So I just put it on easy, and then I just play the story mode. Well, I was gonna go play it, and then I go to story, and it was like red barred out, and I was like, what the fuck? Does this game not have a story or something? And I Googled it. I was like, does Mortal Kombat 11 have a story? And then it was like, fucking playthroughs on YouTube of the story, and I was like, hey, what the hell? So I go, why is my Mortal Kombat story locked? And then the first thing was like, oh, that's a common issue. Just delete your whole game and re-download it.
That's
a common issue. I was like, hey, bro, hold up.
That's a pretty big issue.
That's a big common issue. You might want to fix that issue right off the bat. I was like, what's going on here? But very cool, fun movie. So
the only thing looking forward is give the characters their colors on display. That's
more color.
Most of the costume design was on par, but there are some characters that could have had their colors really pop out a little bit more.
Yeah, and I would have liked to have seen Reptile a little more. I know he was a little too invisible, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But really cool. All right, let's move on from Mortal Kombat. All right, we're moving on from Mortal Kombat to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. If you haven't seen the finale for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, kindly get out. We love you and respect you. Hey, follow us and check us out when you do. The VODs are here. So I think that's enough time. I think I've rambled for enough time. So Falcon and Winter Soldier finale. It's finally here. It wrapped up the entire season. Our homeboy Cold Cuts said earlier in the chat that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode was better than meh, raising the series to an overall slightly better than meh. I kind of agree. How do you feel, Gabe, before I start going in on it?
I think this show ended better than WandaVision.
Yeah.
But yeah, Marvel's still having, I think, some issues with just going for it. They need to go for it when they can, and not. They like want to hold off. They want to keep holding off until like some big cinematic theater event. And it's like, you can do smaller, big things.
Yeah, look at Mando season 2.
You can set up things in these shows that are big without having the full payoff. You can do that, but they're being too safe. I think I don't know. They want to save all the big moments for
movies, right?
For movies, and I don't agree with that.
I'm glad you're bringing that up. We'll bring up Sharon later, because I kind of do think that, but man. Okay, so look, me personally, I thought it was okay. As I've explained to multiple people, because a lot of people that I've heard from love it. A lot of people that I've also heard of are really disappointed, right? But me personally, I thought it was okay. And this is how I pointed it out, right? I was like, okay, there's fantastic parts. The episode as itself was okay.
I think this episode was better than last episode, to be honest.
Yeah, but
they overhyped the last episode, I think, too much.
I think of the finale, though, personally, it just didn't hit at the finale. The thing that I definitely did, I watched this twice already. I've watched it twice, just because when I first watched it, I was kind of disappointed, but I do kind of think it's because I watched Invincible right before, and the Invincible episode 7 was fucking great,
insane,
which we'll get to that later. And I think I watched that right before So like I was like hyped, dude. I was like, oh, let's fucking go. Like that episode was great. This finale is gonna be awesome. And like, look, mind you, after WandaVision, I stopped like hyping myself up. Like, you know, I wasn't like I wasn't going into the finale like, oh my god, Nightcrawler's about to be coming out with Doctor Strange and actually Mephisto. You know, like no, I went in with like solid exceptions, like or expectations. I was like, okay, even because like there's things I wanted for sure. Even and then if you've been following the Fandation, you know that like there's things that I've been wanting since season or since the beginning of the season that I've been like that it was very possible, like the Thunderbolts, you know, maybe possibly the Patriot or like stuff like that. And then U.S. Agent, you know, and then we did get some of those pays off, but I mean, it just wasn't like, it didn't hit, you know, like I feel like as you said, Gabe, you kind of like nailed the mark where you said they're kind of scared to do big things, like everything that was in this kind of just felt like a thing, you know, like it just felt like it's important, but it's not like it's gonna be important later. That's what it felt like, you know, like it didn't feel like it's impactful for me right now. It's just something that like one big thing. I personally thought the post credit scene was kind of lame. It was kind of weak. Well, I mean, we'll get into the details of why. Like
the post credit scene made me hate a certain character more.
Like I will get into the details of the scene later, but it's like, man, just as me thinking about it, I was like, that's the end scene, like of the like that's your end hook to like the future of the project. So I was like, man, that could have been a mid-credit scene for me, right? And then they could have done something big. Like I don't know. I think it just I really wanted more Thunderbolts tease, and we technically got it with the whole U.S. Agent thing, but then again, that didn't do it for me. Like, look, guys, I got a whole list. I'm gonna give reasons to things that I like and things I didn't. So like, it's not like I'm just fucking saying this because like, oh, you don't like it because you don't like it. I liked it. It was okay. It was definitely, and I agree. It was 100. It was better than episode 5. I think episode 5 was kind of hyped, in my opinion. I don't think I thought episode 5 was okay as well, but I think this was better than episode 5, in my opinion.
I agree.
Okay, so let's start off. I'm gonna go down my pros and cons, because the way my pros and cons are kind of written, they're kind of in the of how it is, and then you let me know if you agree or disagree with these pros and cons. Okay. Okay. So right off with the bat with the good, you know, my boy Cold P already said it. The new cap suit was pretty sick. I thought
comic accurate.
I thought it was really very comic accurate. The only thing I didn't like of the new suit was the side of the head. The ears, his ears seemed a little squished. And I don't know. It just I think I would have liked more detail, like more detail of the other colors on throughout like the neck area, because it just seemed very jarring, like poking out, and especially with the ears. Like I don't know, the ears were going real John Walker. You know what I'm talking about? Like it was like when you saw John Walker for the first time, and the ears were like that. I think I would have liked just a little more focus on this section of the suit, but everything else is fucking sick. The headpiece is the only thing that's sort of meh to me. Yeah, dude, I agree with you 100%. So that was good. Lame. The Flag Smashers in general.
Flag Smashers were not a good villain.
They were not at all, man. They were very boring. I couldn't follow.
Carly annoyed me very much.
I didn't understand why she was in charge.
She had no business being in charge. She had no business being as supposedly intimidating as the show wanted us to believe she was.
She wasn't at all. Well, she wasn't at all, dude. And then their plot was like, okay, so like we talked about it on the Fandation multiple times, that there was this whole side plot that was supposed to be happening in this whole thing, where there was like the GRC was supposed to be making this man-made virus, and apparently that took a lot out of the season because there was reshoots. Honestly,
something tells me 2 episodes got cut.
So there was reshoots, right? Obviously, because of like they had to rewrite some of the story. This episode was definitely the episode with the reshoots. Because second thing on my lame list, there was a lot of weird cuts, and this is coming from someone that like I studied editing, like right, like I go to film school. Like I don't want to film like like I feel like I went to film school. Like I'm not trying to be that guy, but it's like there was some weird cuts, man. Like the action, like yeah, they set up a lot of good action ideas, and I'll get into more specific set pieces in a little bit, but like the beginning, the first Batroc versus like Falcon fight, right? It was like they would show 4 seconds, and then they'll cut to like Flag Smasher plot for like 3 minutes. That was nothing, and then they would go back to Falcon and Batroc for like 2 seconds, and it was just like a very clunky fighting. By the way, I didn't like that fight. It was a cool concept. It was just like, I don't know. Sam later in the episode is very, very mobile with that suit. You know what I mean? So like just comparing the end episode to the beginning episode, it was just absolutely nuts. Like I didn't like understand the differences in the fights at all. But it was also pretty like it was cool. It was cool seeing Sam in the suit. Really awesome. As I said, I put on my good side. Any scene with Sam kicking ass is great, absolutely great. How do you think about the whole beginning sequence with like coming in and everything? And
I liked it.
I know you like GSP. Like, so how do you feel about GSP?
I liked it. Did they allude to GSP, like Batroc actually having the serum?
I don't think so.
I thought at some point Sharon says something that kind of alludes to the idea that he had the serum, but I don't know. Maybe I've only watched episode 1, so I may be speaking randomly here.
It don't matter anymore.
Well, here's the thing: he may not be dead.
You think so?
He's supposed to have like implants in his legs, so like where he's supposed to be able to. That's why they call him Batroc the Leaper. He's supposed to be able to like jump, and do crazy stuff. So I don't know. There's a possibility he's not dead, but at the same time, he could just be dead, and they're not going to do anything with him.
Yeah, that's why I thought he was just I thought they just killed them and they're just done with them.
But I love the. Again, it goes back to the power levels, though, right? Like, the inconsistency with the power levels. We saw Falcon go toe to toe with John Walker, who had the serum, and then he was having trouble with Batroc for a little bit there, and this guy supposedly doesn't have the serum. So it's like, can we be a little bit consistent with what these guys can and can't handle? Like, that was one thing that bothers me, and it was the fact that like it seems like Falcon keeps forgetting that he has his like jetpack / wings.
Yeah, right.
Like, and he keeps trying to fight on the ground. And it's like, bro, use your wings. You don't have powers. Like, you need to use your wings to get ahead.
Okay, I'm skipping a little bit to the end, but when Carly is like aiming the gun at him, I was like, that's really stupid. I was like, chick with the super soldier serum is trying to end it with a gun when homeboy has retractable vibranium wings. I was like, Carly, use your brain. I was like, just chick. I get it. She was emotional. She was very emotional in the scene. She was, Sam wouldn't fight her or anything, but it's like, dude, what's a gun gonna do? This is the note. Right. This is the note I put in the middle. Carly is a super soldier that constantly always just uses a pistol.
Which, the idea that she uses a gun, I guess, makes sense because she's not trained to fight hand-to-hand combat. But again, that makes her not intimidating as a fighter because how is she constantly beating the crap out of these 3 dudes? Like, how is she beating John Walker, Bucky, and Falcon all the time when she's not trained?
When she was fighting,
it's infuriating.
When she was fighting John Walker and then she tried to push him and he was just like, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I was like, yeah. I was like, that. Why isn't it like that the whole time? Like, why is it just like all of a sudden she could do like super kicks and stuff like that? Yeah,
it's the power levels were very inconsistent in this series overall, and again, it's like I get the idea of what they're trying to do, like the stop calling her a terrorist, but like, no, she was a terrorist.
She was.
The point, I think what they were trying to say is that the government created the terrorist. That you could say that.
Yeah.
But she was a terrorist. Like, there's no denying that.
She definitely killed people.
She killed people.
She killed people
for her agenda. It's like, yeah, she's a terrorist.
Yeah,
but the criticism is that
the government created the terrorist. Yeah, and then but it's also like the whole whole consideration that they're considered terrorists to other people. You know what I'm talking about? Like, so it's like that's interesting. But let's hop back on the good side, right? One of my favorite sequences in the entire thing was the helicopter sequence. The entire time, seeing Falcon in the air is exactly where we need to see him because he is so good. He absolutely killed it. Like the way he used Red Wing to like scan everyone and see like who were the pilot, the way they worked with the pilot, the way he saved those other two that were in that crashing helicopter, and then it was like that whole bridge scene and everyone was like, yeah, and that was dope, dude. Like super cool. The entire helicopter sequence was phenomenal. And like that's what I'm saying. Like another part of my good area was the way Sam uses his new suit is amazing. Like it's so smart. Like, you know,
it's just what I wanted to see
later in the thing where he's fighting against Carly and he uses his wings to as leverage against on the ground. Fucking genius, dude. Like the way he uses it to like block from the chopper, like fucking good. The way he throws the shield to open the door and then takes out both of the fucking pilots in one swoop, nuts. Like he's so smart, like, and he's fucking crazy, like and now with the shield he is unstoppable. And that's awesome. I'm excited to see like what the future of this, you know. I'd like to see him do more. It's super cool. How did you feel about the whole like? I mean, I'm assuming you digged it.
The helicopter scene?
Yeah,
I loved it. That's exactly how Sam Wilson Captain America should be.
100%.
And that's how I want to see him portrayed. I don't want to see any more of him going toe to toe with Batroc on the ground and trying to fight like Captain America, like OG Captain America. I want to see him incorporate the wings. I want to see like he did with John Walker when he used the jetpack to do the flip kick and stuff. Like do stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Use the jetpack to power your lunges and stuff. Like that's exactly what I want Sam Wilson Captain America to do.
Dude, he nailed it. He was so awesome. I mean, Anthony Mackie is so great as an actor. He definitely nailed the role. There's conveniently a lady who could fly a helicopter in there. I mean, yeah. I mean, the point was that he scanned all of them. You have to remember, these are all people high power than government. One of them maybe had to have a military background. Like, I mean, that crazy to believe. Like, so.
Which I take as well. If there was no one in the helicopter that could pilot it, he probably would have figured something else out.
Yeah, he also. Yeah, he probably would have like. He probably just would have coached someone through it. You know what I'm talking about? Like. He's a fucking amazing counselor. He could do anything. So let's see what else do I have here. We'll say this later because I think we both don't like her. we'll save it for later. Okay, so Bucky's street fight scene with John Walker. Like, you know how John Walker was in the street and then Bucky was in the street and they both were fighting. Bucky saved that car of burning people, which was really cool. And then John Walker was just getting fucking nailed on. And then homeboy Bucky comes in, and then it's badass from there, dude. Like John Walker gets some licks in, Bucky gets some licks in. These are all super soldiers, you know, so they're definitely using it. They're ripping shit out of the ground. They're getting cinder blocks. It was definitely cool. That scene was dope. And then, you know, seeing John Walker come in, he was like, sorry,
Carly,
I didn't want your friend, I didn't want people that didn't matter to die. You thought Lamar didn't matter? Yeah. Like, that was good. That was really good. Like, the whole...
as soon as John Walker came into the scene, I was like, all right, I'm cheering for this guy. Like,
yeah, I was like, oh, he's going to kick ass. Like, I was genuinely like, oh, bro's going to kick ass. Like, I
honestly love how quick people switch, too.
Yeah,
from
right?
hating this guy, and, like, when he comes in I love seeing all the comments saying I was rooting for this guy.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
dude.
yeah, dude. I was on like the train the whole time. I thought he was excellent. Like he wasn't supposed to be Cap. He's gonna be U.S.
U.S.
agent John
agent,
Walker.
yeah, 100, and he
And
nailed it, 100.
he's
percent
nailing it. I love Wyatt Russell.
I
He's
love all the
doing an
moments where
awesome
he's just
job.
like he you hear the ring in his head. He's just like he's like looking around. He's like all shaked up, like oh so good. John Walker was great, and then that leads to another great fucking scene. John Walker / Sam catching the car. Fucking awesome scene. It starts off with John Walker, like he has the opportunity to go after Carly, but that inner hero kind of takes over, and he catches the car, and then you're like, oh, this is actually pretty dope. And then the people start trying to get on him, and he's like kind of fighting, and you're like, oh hell yeah, like let's go. And then he falls in, and you're like, oh shit, well. And then okay, before we get into the awesomeness of Sam, I think they would have survived the fall.
Probably
They would have survived. They would have broken an arm.
They would have been damaged.
They would have broken an arm maybe or something. But I don't think they would have died. Especially in that heavily armored thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they would have died, but hey, it's the idea, right? It's the idea. So it's revealed that Sam. I don't know how he did this, dude. I genuinely don't know. I get it, he's using the booster, but as a human, that's a lot of fucking force. He's no super soldier, but he gets Red Wing to help out with the little things. It was so cool. I thought that was pretty iconic, bro. Definitely iconic.
Yeah.
That was a dope
scene.
Scene.
It is vibranium wings, so
was the wings holding the thing up, or I couldn't tell. I thought
it was the wings.
Oh.
He had the wings holding it up.
I thought it was just the booster and him. I didn't realize it was the wings. Okay.
He was holding onto it, but the wings were pretty much doing all the work.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the wings. I assumed the wings were just holding him up in place, and then he was just him and the boosters. But yeah, if it was the wings, that makes a lot more sense actually. Dope scene, very iconic. So on the lame side, I just put Batroc sucks, Carly sucks, and Sharon Carter sucks.
Yeah, they all sucked.
They all kind of sucked. But we'll get more into Sharon Carter a little bit later. Bucky is hilarious, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen him be hilarious throughout the season, but in this episode he was so good. Where he was like, Lincoln, huh? Good man. Good phrase. You're like, not when you say it. or after Sam's speech, and he was like, "Oh, sorry, I was texting someone. All I heard was Black Man Star of the Stripes." It's
oh yeah,
dude, homie's hilarious.
He's got jokes.
So, okay, so that's. Now we're gonna get into a little section of kind of bad for me. It gets to the scene where Carly and the rest of the Flag Smashers run into the warehouse, and it's kind of feels a little weird. Everything gets all really quiet. They're running through. They're doing the whistle, and then it's revealed the thing that I really didn't want. And I didn't want it. I mean, I think I've said it on the show before when we were talking about who this person potentially would be. And I think you even brought it up. Maybe it could be her, but I was like, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Sharon Carter is revealed to be the power broker, which makes no sense. Is it just me? Is that me, or can someone explain it to me? I think it makes
sense in the context of the show. If you're talking about the whole MCU as a whole, no, it makes zero sense because Zemo himself said that he's had contact with the power broker in the past before all this stuff happened.
Yeah, during Civil War when she was Agent 13.
So, yeah, no, it doesn't make a ton of sense.
So
in the show, from what if you were just take the show, sure, you could say it makes sense, but if you're taking into account everything, no, it doesn't make sense.
So, in the comics, let's, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Ben, because I'm gonna bring something from the comics. In the comics, there's there's the power broker, Curtis Jackson, not 50 Cent. Curtis Jackson, just the power broker. So
what if they get 50 Cent to play the power broker?
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Dude, that's what I wanted so bad. I thought it was
He's just playing himself.
Bro, I thought 50 Cent was gonna roll up and just be all like, I'd be all like, "Where's my super soldier serum?" I'd be like, "Oh, that would have been so sick, dude!" Like, because 50 Cent's a good, like, he acts, you know, like he could probably nail it. But so like I was saying, in the comics, Power Broker is a person. And then later, it becomes Power Broker Inc., which is a business where it's run by two people. So maybe Sharon isn't the only power broker, right?
Right.
Maybe
she does call someone at the end of in the end credit scene.
Maybe there's the original power broker, and then Sharon's the partner.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That could be possible. But we're probably gonna find out in like 15 years. You know, like, when's the next project that's gonna explain that? Like, realistically, you brought up Armor Wars, Cold Cuts, which is possible.
I think that's definitely where that's gonna continue.
Yeah, I could definitely
because she has access to Stark Tech now, and she's gonna be selling it on the black market. So,
man, but I don't want to see Don Cheadle fight Sharon Carter, dude.
I want him to Swiss cheese her. Like I
find Swiss cheese, please.
Like, use the Gatling gun to just turn her into Swiss cheese. This show made me like, she was cool in that scene in the the container yard.
That's but then the container yard scene. Why would she lead Bucky, Sam, and Zemo to her supplier? What does that do for you? You don't take the people that want to stop your supply to your supply. Mm-hmm. Hey, peace out, Cold P. We appreciate you hanging out.
Yeah, no,
like, you don't take the people that's trying to stop your supplier to your supplier. That makes no sense. And then she's the power broker. If she's the power broker, those were the power broker's men, weren't they?
Yeah.
Why weren't they like, "Hey, boss, what the fuck?" Like, you know, like, "Oh, hey, boss, what are you doing?" Like,
she ever since that episode, anytime she showed up again, and like they were hinting that she's bad, she just kind of had this really punchable face. Like, she became a character. I can't stand her anymore. Like, she's just annoying.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't know about the punchable face part, but I definitely, but like, she's annoying.
Like, it's that smirk. I hate when they do these characters where like they go out of, like, the writers go out of their way to make like the male characters super like oblivious and stupid to everything that's going on, and like the female character's like, "Oh, I know everything that's going on. I'm all seeing." It's like, I fucking hate that, the archetype of like the female knows best or the female knows everything and the male characters are stupid and oblivious to what's going on. I just think it's overplayed at this point and annoying, and I hate it. It's like, no matter what, it's like a one-up thing. It's like, "Oh, I had a hard pass." And it's like, "Well, I had an even harder pass and I'm a woman." And it's like, okay, I'm over it. You know, like, I don't want to hear it. Like,
dude,
I hate the archetype that they're going with Sharon.
It feels so weird from her character, you know? Like, I honestly thought she was blipped. I thought I read somewhere that she was blipped. Like,
I guess not.
I guess not. And then
she's been doing bad things.
In the comics, apparently there is a comic book run where Sharon Carter does something illegal by accident for a superhero. Kind of like the same thing of what happened with it, you know, with this, where she was kind of wanted for stealing the wings and the shield or whatever. Well, in the comics, it was like a little different story where she was wanted for doing something else for a superhero, but she was like wanted for the government for like 5 to 10 years, and because of that, it built in an anger inside of her, and she did become a baddie and ended up working for the Red Skull later down the line and stuff like that. So this could be like a hint and tie to that. But it's just like from the MCU, from what we got of her, it just seems so like left field. Like her character seems different. Like I would believe she's a Skrull.
I like had they emphasized the fact that she was forgotten by like Steve and by like Black Widow and by like, because that's fucked. That is, if you think about it, it's fucked that they all like just forgot about her and didn't care.
It was like a one line, but she brushed it off.
Right.
Like
if they had really emphasized the fact that like Hawkeye and like all these people that she should know and like be closer with just kind of fucking forgot about her during the blip and stuff, like they didn't care. It's pretty messed up, and I would believe it more that she has like this real ill will against everyone, but like they didn't really play it up or emphasize it that much, and it kind of comes off as she's just being annoying and stupid. Like,
I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't even think about that like as a form of like reason for anger as well. Yeah, I agree. That's a real reason why like a person would genuinely turn like bad and say like fuck the government, fuck my friends, right? Like I'm just gonna do my own thing. And then she was in Madripoor, so crime fucking to the Night City. So like if they would have like, look, that's why I think this could have been a really good 8 to 10 episode show. Like I know shit was cut because of the pandy, but it's like, man, like Sharon and the Flag Smashers really sucked. For me, I'm sorry. I know a lot of people probably digged it, but
she wasn't really a flag smash. She was just.
But I'm just saying in general, Sharon.
Black market,
me, just kind of. I just didn't like her. Like I thought she was badass in that one episode with Eagle and before she was fucking things up. But now that I know that she's a power broker, it makes no sense.
Not only that, but she was completely fine with Falcon dying if she got what she wanted.
Yeah.
She did not care.
But then again,
and the only reason why she killed Carly was because Carly could have said something about
100%.
who she actually was. So 100%. Like, I don't know. She's just got that dumb, annoying character archetype that I'm not interested in whatsoever.
Okay, so speaking of Carly's dying, Carly's death also was not impactful for me. I didn't care whatsoever. I didn't care whatsoever.
I was kind of happy, honestly.
I understood the emotional impact that's happening on Sam, and I think that's important because it really establishes Sam as a character. But just seeing her like, I was like, I felt no emotion whatsoever. I was like, okay. I was like, good.
Good, she's dead. All right, cool.
Okay, let's move on. I was like, I would honestly prefer to Zemo finish the job. I think, if I'm being honest, over Sharon. But I mean, Zemo did get a final.
I will say this: Zemo is still the best character in the show.
Oh, 100%.
And he wasn't even in the last episode.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Cold cuts. We definitely know about that. But after Carly's death, it did lead to a more iconic moment where it was kind of like the Cain and Abel.
Sam pops off.
Sam landing with Carly's body, right? That was actually a pretty fucking phenomenal shot. I'm gonna be honest. That shot was really beautiful. Just seeing. It kind of reminded me of that scene from Arkham City where Joker dies. I think it's City. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Batman leaves out of the theater holding Joker's body. Like that's, it was like fucking basically the same thing. So good. Like I was like, okay, that's good. Like I didn't really care for Carly, but I cared for Sam in this moment. Like you could see the pain in Sam. And you could see just how important this is for him. It's like, oh man, like that's hashtag my Captain America. You know what I'm talking about? And then it leads to another great moment, Sam's speech. Fucking fantastic. Like that definitely sealed the deal for him as Captain America. For me, like I was already like, oh yeah, Sam's definitely Cap, but like that was like that's Cap.
Yeah. I definitely loved the do better speech.
Yeah.
Like he basically just shitting on the centers, be like,
Yeah, Rose,
this is your mess that
yeah,
you guys
you
keep
do
getting us
better.
into.
And then I like how they're all like, well, what do you like? You don't know what you're talking about. You're like, what do you mean I don't know what I'm talking about? I'm a black man with the stripes. You're like, I literally know you guys are hating on me right now. He was like, but I'm still doing it because like I don't. The public's proceeding on
Right,
me.
yeah,
I care about helping people. Oh, we lagging?
A little bit, but
We're back,
I think
we're
I
back.
think we're good again. I like that he basically just tells them like you're going the easy, lazy way of like not trying to figure a solution. You're just putting a band-aid on every issue that comes up.
Yeah, because he was
You're not
like,
really trying to fix the issue.
because he even said stuff like that really hits. He was like, when you're
Even to like real life.
yeah, when you're when you're in a room making decisions for other people that are literally begging, are the people in the room like you or the people in the room like them? Like, and it's like damn, that's fucking deep, man. Like he definitely went in. But hey, man, super sick. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, this is something I put. Oh, before I mention this, because it's like a little. Zemo's Butler is hilarious, by the way.
I love that shot.
That shot was so good. Just the explosion, like the one people, one world, or whatever. He was like, they start driving away, and they just.
He got like a 5-bang on that one.
It just pans over to fucking the Zemo's Butler, and he's like.
Zemo's Butler's a pimp.
Oh, he's 100% a pimp. He's awesome. I love Zemo's Butler. He was so funny. Another character I did love, and I wrote notes on him twice on the good side because I loved it so much. Anything with Isaiah Bradley. Anything with Isaiah Bradley made me cry, dude. Like Sam visiting him at the house, at the him at the museum with his like his statue. Man, that was emotional stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was some emotional stuff for sure, and it was like really good to see. You know what I'm talking about? I'm glad you brought that up, Ben, because I agree. I definitely did want more closure from that Bucky scene. I kind of didn't like how he explained it. I think I would have liked him to like actually walk him through like the super soldier. Like, yeah, I kind of like give him real closure. Like, tell him like why you did it. It wasn't just because like out of pity or anything.
It wasn't a conscious decision that he made.
Like saying that like I was forced to kind of just made it sound like he still had like some sort of conscious choice. Like I don't think
a hand in it.
Yeah, I don't think he literally understands that he was forced to. You know, like.
Mm-hmm.
That like he actually like had no choice. Like he was someone else. He was under a spell. I think it would have been maybe.
I feel like they had trouble writing a scene. I feel like they were having trouble trying to make that scene work. I feel where they had a conversation and they make it work because it's really hard to have like Bucky explain why he killed this man's son. And like to have that like last little scene where he kind of like goes to the restaurant that they went to in the first episode, and he smiles at the waitress. Like it'd be weird if like, especially I mean, how are you gonna get through that conversation and like, have the old man, have any kind of wanting to do with Bucky at all, like there could be like I forgive you, but I don't want to talk to you right now. I don't want to have anything to do with you right now.
Yeah, well, I kind of wanted him to be like, he's like, I really wanted him to for like, I don't know if I wanted it more for Bucky, or for him. I kind of just wanted him to get like forgiveness. I agree with you. Like
I feel like they cut it short so they could do the little like happy ending at the end with like Falcon and Bucky like having a good time at the end.
Yeah,
because that is a hard scene to put right before you're trying to conclude into like this happy ending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I did. That's actually on my lame side. I put, although it was emotional, I wanted Bucky's scene with the old man to be. I also put I wanted Patriot in this season, which I've been saying since like pretty early on. Season. And you know we didn't get that.
Yeah, I kind of felt like we weren't gonna get Patriot this season. I feel like we were gonna get him later, but
I mean, well now that now we know Cap 4 is coming out, so I mean we're probably gonna get him on there realistically.
Yeah,
because you know now that they want to save big reveals, that's definitely gonna be some big reveal. They're gonna
also I think I saw something. I guess they did give a brief synopsis a while ago about Miss Marvel. Because I know you had mentioned that you wanted to see the Necrogen Mist and stuff. You wanted to see that established in Falcon Winter Soldier. Well, I guess they have like confirmed that they are going to show how Kamala gets her powers in Miss Marvel. Like they're gonna do her origin story, and they're gonna deal with all that stuff in her show. Then we're not gonna see any of that stuff prior. So I guess Inhumans and stuff will be dealt with in Miss Marvel.
What comes first, Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel too?
Miss Marvel. I think Miss Marvel's this year or end of next year.
So you're saying they're gonna do the Terrigen Mist thing in Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel?
So I believe they released in the synopsis for Miss Marvel that they're gonna explain how she gets her powers in that show.
So I guess.
So they're gonna do all that in that show.
There's gonna be some sort of Terrigen Mist event, I guess.
So I mean, we'll see.
That just seems like a lot, but I guess because there's so much. I feel like
Miss Marvel won't connect to Captain Marvel that much, and it'll be like WandaVision where it says it connects.
Yeah,
but we won't see anything really.
Well, I mean, I don't think Captain Marvel's gonna be. I think if anything, we're just gonna see like a poster with her on it because she's like a fangirl, Kamala Khan.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna see Brie Larson anyway, but I definitely think maybe we could see.
I feel like Miss Marvel will connect in the same way that WandaVision supposedly connects to Doctor Strange too, where we didn't see much connection whatsoever.
I see what you mean. Okay, we also got U.S. Agent. We finally got it.
That was one of my favorite. That was one of my bright spots. I think out of the series was getting official U.S. Agent.
I thought the suit looked great.
It looks really good. It looks very, very similar to the comic.
I thought the scene itself was a little weird in my taste. I don't think it's the way it was like, yes, ma'am, yes, I'm back, baby. I was like, okay, it's a little. I didn't hate it, but I loved the suit. I thought the suit looked fucking great. The black and red looked so good. The detailing of like on the leg. I don't know if you saw that. It's pretty good. I'm excited, man. I think Val's setting up the Thunderbolts.
I think so.
I think she's gonna set up the Thunderbolts, actually. And I don't know how I feel about that. I hope General Ross is involved. I really just want General Ross to be involved. Unless Val is the leader, right? Or like Val is the Nick Fury of the Thunderbolts, and General Ross actually does go Red Hulk. Like at that point, that's the only way I could. I'd be comfortable with it. I just want to see Red Hulk. that's why I've been pushing for General Ross to come back a lot because I really want to see Red Hulk. So it's like.
I think it's really weird that we didn't get General Ross, like a name drop or anything in this show.
Well, we're getting him in Black Widow for sure.
Yeah, we're getting him in Black Widow, but like he's gonna be a younger version.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So I don't.
Well, who knows?
Again,
maybe
I'm not
there will also be an old
excited
version.
for Black Widow.
Yeah, I mean, I think I need another trailer or something. I agree with you from what you said off air. I agree that I'm definitely more excited for Shang-Chi right now.
Yeah, not that they needed to release the Shang-Chi trailer, but the Shang-Chi trailer took a lot of wind for me out of caring for Black Widow. I just want to move on already. Like I don't really care about what Black Widow has to do or say, I guess, anymore.
I do think it should have been released before Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think if that would have happened, it would have made that Val cameo, an actual cameo, and a little more impactful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, man, I still want to watch it though. I think I still want to watch it. I still want to watch it. Black Widow. I mean, I still want to see David Harbour as Red Guardian. I want to see. I was walking through the park today, you know, on the California Adventure side, and I walked past you know where the campus is gonna be, right?
Yeah.
And they have all that like artwork,
The signs for them.
dude. I was like, man, this is so cool. I was like, I want to see Taskmaster. I want to see Red Guardian. Like I agree. I don't care much for the movie right now. I just want to see these characters. I want to see what's finally going on with Florence Pugh. Like, why is everyone hyping up Florence Pugh? Like, what's going on? Like, she was great at Midsummer, but is she gonna do something crazy in this movie?
I do think they should have released it first before Falcon Winter Soldier. Because I think it would have given more context. And it's like, I know they wanted it to be a theater release, but
dude, they would have made money. They would have made money, dude. Like,
they would have.
Like like Mulan and Raya the Last Dragon. Maybe those are movies that we want to. I mean, sure, put on premiere, but like they could probably understand why that didn't make a lot of money compared to like
those
a
weren't
Marvel
anticipated
movie.
movies.
Yeah, like
you know?
a Marvel movie, especially out of like a year of Marvel drought, right? Like fans were fucking waiting for a Marvel movie for like the longest time. So it's like.
And then they shot themselves in the foot by waiting too long and letting Wonder Woman and all these other, you know, HBO Max movies come out with the subscription instead of having to pay a premium fee. So, like, it made it even harder, I think, for them to release it, because if they released Black Widow after the fact, then people would have been like, well, why are you charging the premium access when HBO Max just dropped Wonder Woman 1984 and the Snyder Cut and all these other brand new movies just for the subscription?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I watched Mortal Kombat with just my subscription.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's partially they waited too long, and now they have to release it. Yeah. I think in theaters.
Well, with all the people with their vaccines, I mean, I'm sure they'll do a quick turnaround. You know, like after theater, it'll probably pop on Disney Plus. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in theaters for like a week and then they put it on Disney Plus with Premier Access like a week later. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But before we move on to the Invincible, we have a soft confirm that Captain America 4 is in the works.
It's happening.
It's happening. Yeah. It's happening, and it's going to be starring Sam. Sam's Captain America. That's kind of dope, actually.
And I wonder if Bucky is going to be in it?
Oh,
I assume.
Has to. And then I really hope we get Patriot in that.
Mm-hmm.
And then that has to also be the next time U.S. Agent comes out. Like, because realistically, where else would he be important? Oh,
something tells me that we're gonna have to get like an announcement for like a Thunderbolts movie or show. Oh, I think it's gonna be a show.
Yeah, I agree.
But I feel like it's coming soon. I feel like they're gonna announce it soon, because I don't want Captain America 4 to have U.S.
cast.
Agent in it. It's like, okay, so now we're just doing a movie now. Like,
season 2 of the movie.
I would prefer if the Captain America 4 movie is like the pre-Avengers movie for whatever they're gonna do with there's a new team, that little mini Avengers into that. And I think it'd be cool if at the end of that movie they go forward with hey, we need to maybe have a young Avengers, and maybe we need to get like another team going.
Hold on. Oh, your perspective froze for like a couple seconds. I heard you the whole time though. Actually, now that you mention it though, I can see them teeing up the young Avengers in
Captain America.
Yeah, 100%. That's actually kind of genius, I think.
Because I think obviously we're gonna get Kate Bishop soon in Hawkeye, and then we're gonna see within these shows we're gonna see them building up the cast of the Young Avengers. Doctor Strange 2 is gonna have Speed and Wiccan. I'm sure they were
and
trying
then
to hide
also
it,
Miss
but
America as well, right? Or what's her name? Or
America also America Chavez or whatever,
yeah,
right?
something like that. Yeah.
She's going to be in Doctor Strange 2 as well. So it's like by the time this movie does come out, I think we'll have gotten a base of the Young Avengers, but they won't be put together, I think, until the end of the movie. I think we'll get like an Age of Ultron type thing at the end where maybe Sam Wilson's putting together the Young Avengers and he's going to leave is Elijah Bradley?
Yeah.
He's going to leave Elijah Bradley in charge of that team.
Dude, I would love if it's like, well, I mean, Patriot actually had the shield in the comics, but in the Young Avengers, the version of Cap in there, one of the versions of the Cap has like a holographic projected shield. It'd be so cool if the Patriot had that. It was like his shield was like a holographic projected one. Oh, that'd be so sick. Man, yeah, that'd be so cool. I really want to see them do Young Avengers and Thunderbolts both. I think Young Avengers and Thunderbolts could both work as great shows. So I hope they definitely take advantage of that. But we probably won't see it for years. It's probably going to be the next wave of Marvel shows because like right now they're knocked out WandaVision, knocked out Falcon and Soldier. Next is Loki, and then it's Hawkeye, then it's Miss Marvel, then it's She-Hulk, and then Moon Knight, right? And after all of those, as of right now, the Secret Invasion and Armor Wars. Sorry, I forgot about this. So after all of those, they're gonna probably do a new fresh slate of shows. And then in those fresh slates, probably be Thunderbolts, Young Avengers, and then it's gonna be another Investor Day. That's gonna be crazy, and it's gonna be Feige announcing all these fucking shows, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my god!"
And then what's crazy is that we're probably gonna get more announcements after some of these shows conclude because there's probably stuff they don't want to reveal that is gonna be set up in the shows. Like,
and movies too.
So,
like things are gonna happen in the movies that are definitely gonna impact shows. Like like we already know Kamala Khan is gonna be in Captain Marvel 2, and then obviously the events of WandaVision affects Doctor Strange. So whatever happens in Doctor Strange is gonna affect the future of like if they do another season of WandaVision or something. But very interesting for sure. Now, our final topic of the day will be episode 7 of Invincible. Episode 7 of Invincible. Fucking great, dude. So good. I don't know if it's my favorite episode. It might be one of my favorites.
It's up there for sure for me.
Definitely up there, dude. It's from the top. Like, it was really good. Like, the whole continuing. We good? Oh, hold on. Discord, you're back. Discord on the poop today in the Spectrum. I kind of didn't I say that Robot was cloning a body for himself at one point?
Yep.
That's what happened. Yeah. So
he did it.
So Robot wasn't an actual robot. He was a person controlling a robot.
But was there two souls living inside that body?
No. It was like a Fallout New Vegas thing with the Mr. House or whatever, right? It was an old man controlling all the robots. And then so he had a crush on Monster Girl. Monster Girl is like what, 22 or 25 or whatever, but she had the condition where she gets younger every time she transforms. He had a crush on Monster Girl, and then he realized Monster Girl had a crush on Rex, so he was like, I'm just gonna clone a young version of Rex. And then he knew about the cloners, right? He knew everything about them, how their cloning technology it's just transferring and copying a consciousness over, right? So he kind of like orchestrated all of this, which was really cool to see, like kind of seeing all of them like map everything out and everything. That whole sequence is awesome. How it kind of tied in with the whole immortal plot, like Frankenstein and everything. It was kind of really cool. that gets paid off later. The fight where Robot kind of like turns into like has like a big mech, starts fucking shit up. That was really cool. But then, you know, one of the big things, Omni-Man's pissed, bro. Omni-Man.
He went off the deep end for
Omni-Man
sure.
turned into Homelander in this episode. Omni-Man straight up turned into Homelander from The Boys. If you haven't seen The Boys, Gabe, get on that. Watch The Boys.
I have a 4-day weekend, so
there you go, dude. Watch The Boys.
I have to watch it all right now.
He went full Homelander. Such an amazing scene. He destroyed guards. He destroyed the agents that were in the house across the street. Cecil was doing everything in his power to stop Omni-Man, because it's getting to the point. Next episode's the finale, right? We kind of learned that Omni-Man confronted his wife about the whole situation, but he's still kind of being really vague about it, so it's like causing a lot of issues. And then Cecil just went in, man, sending everything. He sent the robots. They made a comeback from last episode. Very quick turnaround, by the way. Did you know? I didn't even realize this till like today. Did you know that actor, that character who made the robots was Ezra Miller?
That was Ezra Miller?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
I didn't know either. I figured it out after.
Wow.
But yeah, very cool. Very cool how they use those things. And then he drops he used like the teleportation like powers to like manipulate him. That was pretty cool. And then they dropped like that kaiju looking thing on him.
Oh yeah.
That was like they took away his pain receptor, then drugged him up with everything they had. So he's like 5 times stronger.
He was just whooping on.
Oh yeah, that scene was nuts,
Omni-Man.
dude. Absolutely destroying, just like a great fight for Omni-Man. I mean, if Mark didn't show up, it probably would have been a way crazier, different fight. It was like Godzilla versus Kong. It was nuts out there. But then Immortal comes to life, and Immortal was fucking immediately pissed, bro.
Immortal wanted to throw hands.
He wanted to throw hands. He was like, "Where the fuck are they?" He was like going crazy. He was like, "I'm gonna get him." Absolutely crazy scene. Seeing fucking Immortal just coming and flying back and then everyone like Cecil was like, "There's another person coming in." It's like, "Oh damn! I told Eve to stay away," and he was like, "It's not Eve." Crazy fight sequence again. Seeing Immortal, I kind of liked Immortal's little flashback. He kind of reminded me of Vandal Savage from like DC. Like the Vandal Savage was like essentially an immortal that just touched a rock that was like an ancient rock, and he became unimmortal powers. It seemed Immortal was kind of like the same thing. He either like an immortal force, and then it went inside of him. I think it teased that he was Abraham Lincoln. Did you see that?
Yeah, I didn't know what that scene was about.
I genuinely, I mean, I can't tell if he was like, just he looked like him or if he was Abraham Lincoln.
That'd be crazy.
I'm gonna go back and look after this episode. I'm gonna see if it's if my eyes do deceive me. But then we get that crazy scene where Omni-Man just does it. He just fucking kills him again.
Yeah.
Kills him again. But it's kind of like the Spider-Man Far From Home thing. Well, I mean, but not really like it being fake, where it's like, you know, and then now every news media has seen Omni-Man kill Immortal, which is big. You know what I mean? Like, that's something you can't really explain. So that means next episode is going to be the fight between Mark and Omni-Man.
Yeah,
like, there's no way that Mark is going to, you know? There's no way Mark's going to let that happen. Because, you know, he's too human. He's more human than he is, what's the name? The Vultramite? Yeah, he's way more human than he is Vultramite. So his Omni-Man's about to be all like, hey, look, we're this, we gotta do this. And then Mark's gonna be like, you're fucking crazy. And then they're gonna fight. And then... does Mark even have a chance?
probably not, because the human side probably holds him back a little bit.
Yeah, the human side nerfs him a little bit, and then Omni-Man has how many years on him of
A lot.
experience? Like, it's gonna maybe Adam Eve has something to do with it. Maybe she helps out,
Or maybe she gets close to being killed, and that's what makes Mark go off.
oh, that'd be really good.
Something tells me that like they're gonna both take him on, and he's gonna like go for the kill on Adam Eve, and
Bro,
that's gonna.
I
Mark up.
hope that half of the Guardians of the Globe die again.
Oh yeah.
Like, duplicate, killer. That girl
Get
that
rid
just
of
turns small, killer. I don't want to see Monster Girl or Robot die because all
No,
of that. Ray Explosion, kill him. Leave Black Samson, Monster Girl, and Robot, and then kill the rest. That'd be sick. It'd be traumatic as fuck, but it'd be sick. Because Ray Explosion's hilarious, but he's kind of annoying. You know what I mean? Like, that's definitely the intention.
Really, really
That's definitely the intention of the character, 100%. But it's like, man, kind of just sometimes I just want him to like get it. I want him to have his head exploded.
Like, let's just move on from this
And
character.
then, what about that fucking giant cat dude that fucked him up? Uh-oh.
Season.
All right, you're back.
Uh-oh.
No, but I heard you. It was just more of like the screen.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, man. It'd probably be a season 2 thing. And then we like, there's so much more like in space stuff. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of space things that they haven't even like. There's other planets, other like. You remember in like episode 1 or 2 where Seth Rogen's character came up and he was like, "Oh yeah, we're part of the group that just tests every planet to see if they're strong enough to defend themselves."
Capable of defending themselves, yeah.
Like, that's a whole thing over there. You know what I'm talking about? So like space is like way big in this universe, and like I'm curious how that's gonna work, how different like aliens and shit are gonna have different powers and different like things, and if Omni-Man will be alive or Mark will be alive to fight them. Like, we don't know, man. Next episode is gonna be the last episode's gonna be crazy, dude. I think Mark Hamill's character is gonna die.
I think it's possible.
I'm surprised he hasn't died yet.
I thought he was gonna kill him that last episode.
Yeah, I thought so too, man. And I'm surprised. Like, the tense. It was way too tense. Like, But then again, when did he have the time to kill him? Right?
I don't think there's gonna be any time in this episode.
He kind of didn't have time to kill him. I think the whole episode is gonna be them fighting, and then
or if they come down to like a settlement, I think the ending credit scene will be him going to. Once everything calms down, I think, and maybe like Omni-Man maybe like banned from Earth or whatever. Like, I could see him visiting Mark Hamill's character and being like, "You ruined my life" or whatever, and like killing him.
Oh yeah. Man, I hope. All right, you want to make any final predictions or overall like things you liked?
The episode was phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree.
I cannot wait for. I'll say it. It was better than Falcon, Winter Soldier, and WandaVision this season.
Yeah, I agree.
Better paced, I think. Were there some filler episodes? Yes, but the highs were way higher than
this show.
Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision combined.
This show is definitely one of the only shows in recent time that has made me drop my jaw. Like genuinely, like while watching, just like a lot of things I watched haven't done that. Like, The Mandalorian season 2 was probably like the ending of season 2 was probably the last time where like jaw drop, right? Or but like, man, yeah, a lot of TV don't do that for me anymore. And Invincible had multiple episodes that I just go, I just can't believe what I'm watching. So it's like I do agree. I think I'm enjoying myself watching Invincible a little more. But that being said, I did enjoy. Yeah, I didn't even think we mentioned that. Going back to Falcon and Winter Soldier for a second, what did you think overarching on the season, like season in total?
If I out of 10, I'd say it was. I don't even remember what I gave WandaVision, but I would say 7 out of 10.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down right here.
It was good.
Final score 7 out of 10.
But it's got issues. These Marvel shows need to figure out the format in show format for sure. They don't have it down yet.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like they were like, okay, we'll make it look like a movie. We'll treat it like a show, like on story format, because there's a lot of things that were definitely very TV show. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But when they're mixing it with the look of a movie, so like they're not combining well. Like it's just like they haven't found the perfect mix of like TV and movie. Like I think they have movie expectations with TV quality, which I mean, as of recent times, TV quality has gotten better. But it's like there's always still that semi-medium that TV is not as serious as movie, right? Like, or not as high budget or big as movie. So it's like, I think Marvel needs to figure that out. That their TV has to be to the same standards as movies. Like, because it's kind of just, they're essentially mini movies. They're longer than movies. They're like double the length of movies for the most part. So yeah, it's like they really I like, it's like what you said earlier. They gotta go all out. They just gotta go in. They gotta not be afraid to go in.
They gotta go for it. Another thing too is there are some stuff that's been kind of fillery in WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, and there's always gonna be filler, but I at least feel like the filler in Invincible has been more helpful than the filler episodes that were in WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I agree.
The filler in WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier were pointless letdowns. And at least there's relationship building in these filler episodes where there's not something crazy that necessarily happens, but you're building relationship, you're building chemistry amongst the characters.
And there's also things that get paid off as well. Like, for example, the robot dude, he is now working for Cecil, and then they use the robots in this episode. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like so it's definitely interesting. You know what I'm talking about? Like I just think that TV right now needs to get their own little.
And like with WandaVision, too much emphasis on like these little plot details that they made it seem as if they were going to go somewhere to ultimately end to nowhere.
Yeah, too many red herrings.
And similar with the Power Broker. I didn't buy too much into the Power Broker because of WandaVision, but they did red herring it a lot.
Oh, 100%.
And just for it to be Sharon Carter, just kind of dumb and like not a payoff really whatsoever.
Yeah, I really hope it's more of the Power Broker Inc. type of thing, and so you have the partner that is another, you know, like, so there's two power brokers. But I mean, her being the power broker just doesn't make it doesn't make any sense. Like it really doesn't. Like you said, it makes sense in the plot of the show, but in the MCU, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But who knows? You know, Kevin Feige, he's going to make like one scene and it's going to make everything make sense. And we're going to be all like, oh, of course. You know, like he does that shit all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, I guess we just got to wait and see. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that is a perfect place to wrap it up. How do you feel, Gabe? Any last comments, or do you think that's good?
I think that's good. Again, I hope that people are just patient with Mortal Kombat, because if you look at what they gave us, it was phenomenal.
It was fun. It was definitely fun. I'm gonna watch it again.
And people just need to be patient.
Yeah.
They want to really flesh out the Mortal Kombat universe in live action, and I'm down for that.
Yeah.
So please don't let the hate, scare the Warner Brothers into not doing anything else with it.
Yeah, I agree. I could see this as a huge franchise for them, 100%. And I really hope. I mean, are people review bombing Mortal Kombat? Because I know people were doing it for Kong.
Cage, honestly, it's really just they're upset that Johnny Cage wasn't in it, so they've been just trashing it at all costs. And it's like you're not making your case better. You're only making it worse because then you're not going to see Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you shit on the movie enough and review bomb it, they won't make
the second. Yeah, they won't.
And then Johnny Cage won't show up.
It's like I'm bringing it up again. The Power Rangers live action movie, dude. The end credit scene for that movie, and it was it panned over to a green jacket, and the substitute was like, "Is Tommy Oliver here? Tommy Oliver." And they were Tommy Oliver, and then it pans to his like green dragon jacket, and then I was like, "Whoa, they're gonna do Tommy Oliver! That's fucking sick! I can't wait to see that in the next Power Rangers movie." And then everyone was like, "This movie sucks," and then it didn't make a lot of money, and then boom, I'm never gonna see Green Ranger in that fucking movie, in a live action movie ever again. Makes me sad.
And it's a shame because I think there's just a lot of people overlooking what Mortal Kombat gave us just because they're upset a certain character didn't show up. And it's like you're gonna kill the franchise before it has a chance to grow. Yeah,
the whole no Johnny Cage thing kind of just stupid. I didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest. That was the first time I heard. You're telling me, like, you telling me, like, the first time I heard about it. But like, damn, that's kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's dumb. The Johnny Cage bros are really kind of dumb.
Johnny Cage bros. They're all people that like to cosplay as Johnny Cage.
Thankfully, so with the critics, it's not doing the best.
Oh, okay.
It's at 56% on Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience score is 88%, which I agree.
That's good.
So hopefully, they don't pay attention to the critics who were bashing this movie for being boring, which is stupid because I think this movie was anything but boring.
Critics aren't into the action or anything. Critics are into like the story and the plot, and when it comes to this, the story and the plot isn't that great, but when it comes to like action, they fucking nailed it. And like the critics never look at the action. They only just look at like what's the impactfulness of the story, what's the character development in Liu Kang. What
does this movie have to say about society?
Yeah,
nothing. Nothing to say about society.
Yeah, really, that's how critics are nowadays. It's nuts. Like every movie, it's like, dog. It's
like you can have movies for fun. They don't have to say something.
You're going into a Mortal Kombat movie. Like, chill.
Right.
Oh man. All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. That was a fun stream. We talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about Mortal Kombat. We talked about Falcon the Winter Soldier, and we wrapped it up with Invincible. Awesome. I can't wait for the finale for Invincible next week. We'll talk about that when that happens. I'm free Monday. Are you free Monday?
It's my last day off, so I'll be free.
Well, we could probably do a show on Monday as well. Who knows what the news will happen, but we'll see. We'll see and we'll adapt. But for sure, Monday will be our next episode. Where can they find you until then, Gabe?
You can find me at Foster Store on Twitter and Instagram. We'll see about getting a stream going this weekend on my own Twitch channel, which is also Foster Store.
Yeah, you got that 4-day weekend, dog.
So yeah, we'll see. I got some time.
Hell yeah, man. And for me, you can find me at Fernie the Great. Most things. Both of our links are in the description. You can just go down there. Also, at the top of the description will be our Discord. Check that out. Discord's pretty cool. Sometimes we like to hang out in there. We sometimes post announcements.
Just post the Discord in the chat too. So go
right there in the chat. We have like an area for like spoilers and like leaks and stuff. We also have an area for some dank memes. If you want to see some funny pictures, I posted a picture the other day of Michael Cera as the Joker, and I cannot unsee it.
Give it to us.
So hey, if you want to see what that looks like, go ahead and hop on the Discord. It's lit over there. And sometimes you can just chat with us. So thank you guys for hanging out. It was really fun. Thank you, Gabe, for hanging out as always. And we will see you guys on Monday.